Hey everyone, welcome to our Thursday Connect. Tonight it's just me, so that is okay. If you are watching this recording, that means you are still showing up, and I want to congratulate you for showing up for your business, because those that show up, even if it's a recording, still go up. So I'm so excited that you're here watching. Before we get started in tonight's training, I wanted to do some announcements, and I also wanted to do some recognition. Okay, so the first thing that I wanted to do is to make sure to remind you guys to check your product status list every single day. Okay, that is in your news tab, and the product status list is going to give you all of the up-to-date information that we have on all of our products. Okay, as you can see by looking at your PWS, that we have a lot of products selling out, particularly bars. Okay, the reason why those appear to be selling out is because they've had so many orders for them, they have to put ordering on hold for a temporary period of time so that they can get caught up with making inventory. If they continue to sell those bars, even though they're behind on manufacturing, they just can't make them fast enough. If they continue to sell those bars, then they're getting further and further behind, and orders get shipped later and later. And so that is the reasoning behind that. And so it's actually a good thing that they're turning off some of these bars. So when you see them release, if you have customers that want them, make sure you snag them right away, because we don't know how long they're going to last. Okay, so that's number one. Make sure to check your product status list every single day, especially if you're placing orders regularly. Okay, number two, we have the NFL warmers releasing. The pre-orders are releasing on September 28th. If you had customers that pre-ordered these in May, then they can log into their Sensei Club account and they can see what date their pre-order will ship. They will have two shipping dates. They are not ship, sorry, which their warmer will be released to purchase, not ship. They will have September 28th or October 7th, okay? Once their date is released, then they can go on your PWS and they can order those. They will have until November 6th to place those orders. If they do not order them by November 6th, then they lose their deposit and they can't order those warmers. Okay, we have not gotten any information at all whether or not those warmers are going to be open to the public, as it were, to be able to order. So right now, those warmers are only available via pre-order. Okay, and then keep an eye out, because at the end of last month, Orville was talking about the NHL warmers. So I'm expecting those to release anytime. But I have a sneaking suspicion that it actually has to do with something that I'm going to talk a little bit later about in our training. And so but just keep an eye out for the information on those. All right. And I think that is all in the way of announcements. Let's get to some recognition. All right. So first of all, I want to recognize our top 10 PRV for the month. So far. I'm doing it on my phone, so I got logged out, so I'm having to log back in. Okay, I'm going into my reportings tab, clicking on PRV twice, and it will sort. All right, so we have in number one with 3,488 PRV is Amanda Gray. And with number two is Melissa Henning with 2,656. Number three is Cinnamon Stanley, 1,542. The next, number four, is Jessica Pangelinan with 1,403. Number five is Christy Cockett with 1,354. Number six is Caitlin, and I can't see her last name. Caitlin Callahan. And Caitlin's PRV is at 1,668. And right behind Caitlin is Dina Irwin with 1,167. So literally one PRV is splitting those two. Next, we have Nicole Faircloth with 1,062. And Catherine Winslow. No, wait, is that Winslow? I have to change it back. Windsor. I'm so sorry, Catherine. Catherine Windsor with 1,022. Rebecca Murray at 80, and our number 10 is Rebecca Murray at 890. ladies, you are rocking it out this month. So with that said, I wanted to share some group numbers. Our team right now so far is up 59% in our sales from last year, okay? And our recruiting is up 10%. Both of those are phenomenal numbers, okay? Last year we sold, let me see, where's my numbers? I don't see my numbers from last year, but this year we have, so far we have sold all of our PRV added together. So this is in dollars, $30,502. You guys, it is only the 24th of the month. We still have 6 days left. That is really phenomenal. And as you can see with the top 10 that I shared, I mean, we are killing it. You ladies are just blowing it out of the water. I am so excited to see where this month still has to go. I also wanted to recognize a few people that are getting paid at title this month. Getting paid at title is super important because it is the best way to maximize your compensation plan. Okay, that's number one is getting paid at title, and number two is selling at least 2,000 PRV a month. Okay, when you sell 2,000 PRV, you get the monthly sales bonus, which is an extra 5% in your check. And if you're getting paid at title, that means you're getting paid on your downline as well. So getting paid at title and selling $2,000 every month is the only way to absolutely maximize your compensation plan. If you're getting paid at title, that is huge. Okay, so with that said, getting paid at title this month so far, we have Melissa Henning getting paid at Superstar Consultant numbers. We have Jessica Pangelinan as a Star Consultant, Amanda Bray as a Star Consultant, Nicole Fairclough as a Lead Consultant, and Christy Cockett as a Lead Consultant. Ladies, that is phenomenal. Congratulations on getting paid at title so far this month. And a couple of people are on promotion watch, so I'm excited to see what happens. We have Amanda super close to promoting to Superstar Consultant. Melissa is, getting close to promoting to Director, and Christy is super close to getting paid or getting promoted to Star Consultant. So we're keeping an eye on you ladies, and it's so exciting to see that. All right, so also a few things to recognize tonight. I wanted to recognize Dina Irwin, who was in our top 10, but she's also promoted to Lead Consultant last month, so that is phenomenal. Of course, she's paid at title because she promoted, and she is also currently at Sensational Start Level 2. Amazing. Okay, absolutely amazing. And then Becky Jones is at Sensational Start Level 1 right now, and both of those ladies still have several days left in their Sensational Start period, and they are rocking their business. It is super exciting to watch you guys. I wanted to congratulate on Amanda for adding 2 new teamies this month. Congratulations to Dina for adding 1 new teamie, and then I added 2 new teamies this month, so we have added a total of 5 new teammates this month. Amazing, you guys. So we are 62 strong. Fabulous. And over half of our team is active. It's so exciting to see. Okay, so that's numbers, that's recognition. Let's get into some of our training tonight. So tonight I really wanted to dig into what it means to run a business. Okay, we hear all the time, and if you're brand new, maybe you haven't heard it a lot, but if you haven't heard it a lot, you will continue to hear this phrase, is if you work your business like a business, it will pay you like a business. If you work your business like a hobby, it will pay you like a hobby. So I always heard this, and it really intrigued me because I was like, what is it? What does it mean to work your business like a business? Like, what does that mean? I mean, I Personally, we own batting cages. We are business owners, my husband and I. However, I do not deal with the day-to-day of anything that has to do with that business. So I did not know what it was to be a business owner. So I was very curious as to what that meant. So the first thing that I did is I actually looked up the definition of hobby versus the definition of business. Okay, so what is a hobby? A hobby is it is actively done regularly in one's leisure time for pleasure. Okay, so a hobbyist, as we say in our Sensei world, a hobbyist is somebody that maybe sells to their friends and family. Maybe they joined for the discount and that's how they're making their money. Okay, maybe they're placing an order once every 4 months, maybe more often during the holiday season as people need more goodies, but they're not really in it to really make any money. Okay, they're not worried about making money, they're worried about being active. That is more the hobbyist route. Okay, now business. What is a business? The definition of a business, kind of paraphrased really, is organized efforts and activities of individuals to produce and sell goods and services for profit. Okay, that is much different than a hobby, right? Goods and services for profit. So basically, treating your business as a business is your intent to make money. Okay, so what does that really mean? Like, what does it mean to really run a business? Well, tonight I really wanted to break it down into a few different steps, a few different key points, and then expand on each one of those so that we can really dig into what a business is and what it really means to run your business like a business. Now, I was really intrigued on Monday. If you guys watched Jess's training call at all, she talked about how Orville compared Sensei right now to a Thanksgiving dinner. And if you haven't watched that training, go back and watch it. There was some really great training in it, but the information that was shared about the hyper growth that Sensei is experiencing, it was very visual and it really made me think, like you could actually see what was happening and you could kind of feel like that. I don't want to say panic, that's not really the word I'm looking for, but like the excitement and the chaos that maybe is happening at some points right now during unprecedented times. And so I really wanted to focus on running our business, comparing it to a Thanksgiving dinner. Okay, so let's pretend like you are the hostess for Thanksgiving. Okay, you're the one that's cooking the dinner. All right, you're the one that did all the planning. All right, now you will have several people coming to your dinner. Okay, you did all the inviting, you know who's coming. You'll have several people, but I really wanted to talk about types of people that inevitably come to everybody's Thanksgiving dinner. Okay, first you're gonna have Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe is the person that comes to Thanksgiving dinner and he's just there for the food. He's showing up to eat, he's showing up to watch football. He comes in, sits on the couch, and just eats all day. Okay, that's Uncle Joe. Then you're going to have your Aunt Sally. Okay, Aunt Sally is the person that was raised believing that, or learning, I should say, that you don't show up to a party empty-handed. So she's the one that brings a pie. Okay, she may not bake it, she may bake it, you know, that's not who Aunt Sally is. Aunt Sally is the one that brings the pie. So she helps contribute to the Thanksgiving dinner, and then she hangs out and eats. All right? Then you're going to have your sister Sarah. Okay, your sister Sarah is the one that comes early. She's the one that's going to help you maybe make mashed potatoes. She's going to help you a little bit with preparing your dinner. She's going to be almost like a co-hostess where she's going to make sure that, you know, people have wine. Maybe Uncle Joe has his beer, making sure that everybody has appetizers while dinner is getting cooked. And she may help prepare a few dishes, but she didn't do any of the planning. Okay, she shows up and she helps. All right, that's your sister Sally. And then you have you. Okay, you are the person that did all the planning. You did the grocery shopping, you cleaned your house, you set the table, you're planning like scheduling when things need to go into the oven, when they need to be out, how long the turkey takes. You're the one that essentially is doing all the planning so that the end result is Thanksgiving dinner at whatever time it is that you're going to eat. Okay? That's you. That's your Thanksgiving hostess. Okay? Now, let's fast forward and let's compare each of those people to your business. Okay? So Uncle Joe is going to be compared to what we would call a kidnapper. Okay, somebody that just buys the kit, has no intention of selling, just thinks it's a really amazing deal and buys it and checks out, does nothing. Maybe they place one order just to get their own products, just to get a little bit more of their own products and get the discount, but then after that, they peace out. Okay, that's going to be your kidnapper. That's your Uncle Joe. Then you're going to have your Aunt Sally's. These are your hobbyists. These are people that are going to, as we've already talked about, they're going to place their orders every 4 months. They join to get the discount. They join so that their friends and family can get the discount. No real ambition to make money. Okay, then you have your Sister Sarahs. These are your people that we would call our part-time Sensei consultants, okay? These are the people that joined just to make some extra money. You know, they do sell to their friends and family, they buy their own product, but they want to make some extra money. So they do take steps in order to do that. Maybe they host a couple of parties, once a month. They may or may not have team members. You know, these are just people that just want to make a few extra dollars, okay? Then you have the hostesses, which in this case is you, okay? If you're watching this training, that means that you are showing up for your business. You really want to make your business a business. So this is you. How can you tell if that is you? Well, it is called a career Sensei consultant. So a career Sensei consultant maintains consistent sales. They maintain consistent growth. They show progression in their business, and they earn a rewarding income and builds a team. Okay, these are what we consider a career Sensei consultant. So the beautiful thing about any of those is at any time the Uncle Joe can become the Thanksgiving host. Okay, the Sister Sarah, maybe she's taken a step back, and maybe some things happen and she decides, you know what, I'm going to take a step back and I'm just going to be Aunt Sally for a little bit, show up, every 4 months. But you know what? The cool thing is she can decide at any point to become Sister Sarah again. Okay, that is the very cool thing about our business, is we can actually go in and out of them. But if you're a real, true business owner, okay, if you really want to make a career of this, or you really want to make some life-changing income, it is important that you do what we're going to talk about tonight, and that is run your business like a business. Okay, so I came up with this idea of, all the asking or all the thinking, like, what does it really mean to run your business like a business? And so I asked my husband, I was like, honey, what does it, like, when I say run your business like a business, what does that really mean? As a business owner, what does that really mean? What does it really mean to run a business? And he told me a few things that I want to share with you guys tonight. Okay, the first thing that he said is, number one, first and foremost, you want to pay yourself a salary. Okay, if you're running a business, you want to pay yourself a salary. Now that can be a portion, like a percentage of your commission. It can be a set amount every month, whatever that looks like for you. It is important that you pay yourself a salary, because if you are treating this like a business, then you're in it to make money. And if you never feel that money coming in, then that's when frustration can set in. Okay, so it's really important to pay yourself a paycheck. Whatever amount you decide, that's up to you. Okay, Number 2 is you need to have clear and defined goals. I'm going to expand on all of these as we go on. So I'm just going to, right now, I'm just going to kind of paraphrase. But you need to have clear and defined goals. Okay. You need to have a financial plan, which is how are you going to make money? All right. You need to have a marketing plan, which would be how are you going to share your product with the people? You know, how are you going to bring people in? How are you going to touch base? How are you going to share what's coming out new? Okay, that's your marketing plan. And the last thing is you want to have your operational plan. How are you going to operate your business daily to make sure that all of these things are implemented? So these would be kind of like systems. Okay, so let's break these down just a little bit. Okay, the first one is clear and defined goals. Now, in Sensei, we would call that our why. What is it that you want to get out of Sensei? Okay, what is it? What is your end goal? Is your end goal to quit a job that you hate? Is your end job, you know, do you love your job so much, but you want to make an extra income so that you can take your family on vacation? You know, what is it that you want out of your business? Okay, so clear and defined goals. Along with this clear and defined goals would be, it could be as a business owner, it could be a dollar amount. How much money do you need to make in order to make these things happen? Okay, so as a batting cage owner, my husband knows how much money per day that he needs to make in order to make sure at the end of the month that all of the bills, all the salaries, all of, you know, everything is getting paid. Okay, he knows what his daily amount is. All right, he has clear and defined goals. He knows exactly how much by the end of the month he needs to make in order to basically break even. All right, and anything over that is just a bonus. Okay, he knows exactly why he got into the business to begin with. He got into the business not just because he loved baseball. Yes, he did, but he wanted to create something so that he could help us become financially free, financially stable, because a portion of his job was going away and he wanted something for us as a family. Okay. Another thing that you can do when you're trying to define your goals is you can create a dream board or a vision board. Okay, you can put these out and maybe they're pictures of places you want to go or people you want to meet. For me, I want to buy an RV, so I have a picture. Actually, mine is words, so I have the words "take a trip in our own RV." I have that on my vision board, and then you know, you can do words, you can do pictures, whatever it looks like for you, literally. You can do that. You can create a virtual dream board. Maybe you have one on Pinterest. Maybe you surf Pinterest all the time and you have a board that you can pin ideas. Like, oh yeah, one of the places I want to do or go is I want to see the Aurora Borealis. And so that is on my dream board. So in my Pinterest dream board, I could have a picture of the Aurora Borealis. Okay, you guys get what I'm getting at here? They're clear and defined goals. You know what you're working towards. Okay, the next thing you have to have is you have to have a financial plan. You need to know how much money you want to make. You know, do you want to make $500 a month? Do you want to make $1,000 a month? Do you want to make $80,000 a month? Whatever you want to make, you need to have a plan. And then you need to know the compensation plan so that you know exactly the actions, whether it's sales, whether it's team members, whatever it is, so that you know the exact actions that it's going to take you in order to make those numbers happen. Okay, you have to have a financial plan. All right, you have to have a plan on where those sales, on where that money is coming from. Okay, you have to go into every single month with planning parties, Okay, you have to go in with planning your follow-up. You have to go in with maybe you want to start mystery bags, and that's part of your PRV plan. You have to maybe you want to think out of the box, and maybe you just want to create like a special 6-pack, like Michelle's favorite 6-pack, and you want to sell those during the month. Okay, maybe you want to do a personal special. You know, that is actually not out of the question when you're doing personal specials. You just have to communicate those one-on-one. But a lot of businesses think their plans around certain times of the year. Okay, they know when they're going to have slow months, and so they plan special releases to happen during those slow months. Sensei is no different, okay? Sensei planned the release of the Child Buddy. Now, of course, everything was totally different than when they planned it a year prior, but they planned the Child Buddy to release for purchase in June. June is typically a slower month. So they planned that release in June so that could help our PRV, that would help us in our sales. Okay, they plan a 10% off sale in July because they know that we may need a boost in our sales. Okay, this year we didn't have that 10% boost because we didn't need that boost. Okay, they planned the NFL release, they planned the NHL release, all of those, you know, just in case they needed to help boost our sales for us in September. And they haven't released those NHL warmers. And I have a sneaking suspicion that it's because we don't really need it. We are having yet another record-breaking month in Sensei. And so they don't necessarily need to have that big release, right? So it is important as a business owner to know when those slow months are, when your busy months are, and plan accordingly. Okay, so you need to have a financial plan. Now, you also need to have a budget. Okay, you need to know, we talked about earlier about you paying yourself a salary, a salary. That is part of your budget. It is a percentage. Okay, then you also need to have a small portion of your commission that you have budgeted to actually spend on your business. You've heard that saying, you don't make money unless you spend money, right? Well, that is true. Now, it could be not true where you're spending more than you're making, then you're not. But it's important that you know that, right? So you have to budget what you're able to sell. Okay, one of the things that Heidi suggests is spending 3% of your Sensei money, putting back into your business. So whatever your commission check is, you should plan on putting 3% of that back into your business. So that would be like buying business cards, buying catalogs, purchasing marketing material, which we're going to talk about, buying hostess gifts, buying team gifts, you know, whatever that is, 3% of your overall sales, you should budget, or your commission rather, budget to put back into your business. Okay. Now, a lot of times as you're starting out, that percentage seems to be a little bit bigger, but as we're going to talk about a little bit later, it's important that you track that as well. Okay, so that is all your financial plan. You want to know where that money is going to come from. Okay, now the next thing that you want is you want to have a marketing plan. How are you going to share your product with your people? Okay, a couple weeks ago, we did a training on social media, how to share your products on social media without seeming salesy, without being spammy. You know, that is definitely an option. You know, is that a plan for you? How do you plan? Do you plan your content? Whatever that looks like for you, you need to have a plan on how you're going to get your information out to your people. You know, are you going to email them? Are you going to do monthly mailers? Are you going to message people? You know, how are you going to market your business? How are you going to get your new products out to people? So you also really want to pay attention to those results, right? So if your only plan is to post on social media and you're not getting any sales or any information back, then maybe you need a new plan. Okay, so it is also important to keep revisiting your plan to make sure that they are working for you. Okay, so for me, I use 3 different ways to market my business. Number 1, I use social media. Okay, we talked about a couple weeks ago, we talked about I use my business page, I use my VIP group, and I use my personal page. So one of the things that you have to know about your personal page is a lot of people will shy away from sharing Sensei on their personal page. But let me tell you something about that. Okay, this is something to consider as you're thinking about, do I want to share this on my personal page? Okay, one of the things that we hear about all the time is people buy from those they know, like, and trust. All right, well, chances are the people that are on your personal page are people that already know you, already like you, and already trust you. So aren't they really your market? Like, isn't that really your market? Those people that already know, like, and trust you? Okay, so before you decide not to share on your social media platform where people know, like, and trust you, really take that into consideration. And maybe not say, I'm not going to share, but maybe there has to be a better way to share. Okay, I will tell you without a doubt, hands down, social media has been a huge pivotal point in my business. Once I learned how to use social media to my advantage, I've been able to grow a team, I've been able to grow my paycheck, and I've been able to make some really good, genuine friends. It's really amazing. You should really continue to do your research about social media. Okay, the other thing that I use is I use an email system. Anytime we have a big release, like I did this with the Harvest Collection, and I just did it yesterday with the Holiday Collection. Anytime we have a big release, I email all of my customers that I have their email and haven't opted out, but I have their email address. I email them all and I let them know that these products are coming out. Okay. By doing this with the Harvest Collection, for example, I was able to get $1,700 in pre-orders. So that was right away, the first day of the month, I had 1,700 PRV, and that was just from sending an email with a Google Doc link in my email so that I could share those products with my customers. Okay, and already after just sending them out yesterday, I already have 8 people that have pre-ordered products for the holiday release next week. Okay, that is without posting. I have not yet posted on social media. I have not yet actually texted anybody. That is solely from my email. Okay, and the other thing that I utilize for marketing, and I know you guys have seen this before, but I use monthly mailers. So my monthly mailers just go out in a plain white envelope. This is one that got sent back because they said it was the wrong address, but it wasn't, but whatever. Okay, so this goes out in a white mail out or envelope. This is how I utilize my warmer and scent of the month brochures. So every single customer that has ordered from me in the last 3 months knows that we have a scent and warmer of the month, and this is what it is. Okay, and I've gotten a couple orders for this mummy just because they saw it. All right, and then I have a felt sample of the scent of the month. Okay, this is just a 29-cent sheet of felt that I cut into squares, put it in a baggie, which I got at Walmart for 100 for $1. And then I just put it right in the brochure. Okay. The other thing that I do, as I've shown you guys before, is I have my list of Michelle's Faves. These are 3 things that I share with my customers every single month, and they're always different. The first thing is explaining what the scent is. Okay, it has the scent description of, for this month, Ghostly Greetings. It has a product that is coming out or something that I want to share. In this case, it is the cider mill bundle. Okay. And then it has, this month's got to have is the pumpkin spice warmer because it's super cute. And I have to tell you guys, don't overthink this. All I did was create this on Canva. It is a rack card, R-A-C-K card. And I just, used the free version of Canva to do this. And then all I did on the descriptions right here is all I did is copy and paste them out of the workstation or my website, okay? It was not verbiage that I created. It is super duplicatable. All you have to do is do it, okay? So I give them this every single month. The customers that receive this, that's what they're looking for. Okay, I also sent all of my customers a little postcard size view of all of the holiday collection. Now, knowing that all of these same customers were also going to get an email from me. Okay, so on this, there is no pricing or anything. It was just saying, get on my pre-order list. Okay, and then I have a thank you postcard, which kind of explains what my sample system is. Okay, that's it. One stamp, one envelope. Super easy, and I will tell you without a doubt, I make my money back and more from all of these, from the samples that I send out. And I will tell you also, because I track my numbers, I have seen a 40% reorder rate just from sending out these emails. That would be if I did no other follow-up. I have seen a 40% reorder rate. Okay, 40% reorder rate is pretty great considering that Sensei statistics are 70% of people are one and done. Okay, so for me, I have a 40% reorder rate simply from these. This is not my overall reorder rate. That is just from my samples. Okay, so excuse me, that is really important that, that I continue that. So that is my marketing plan. Whatever your marketing plan looks like, it is unique to you, okay? Make sure that it is unique to you. And you know what? Borrow other people's ideas. Borrow my ideas. Create your own ideas. That's what we're all here for, sharing, all right? Okay, so finally, the last thing, I have a couple more minutes left. The last thing is you want to have a plan of operations, okay? You want to have systems that you use to track all of these things. Okay, so you want to have systems on how you're tracking your growth. I've shared with you guys before my growth planning notebook that I track. It's super not bougie at all. It's super easy. It's just a notebook with numbers that I track every single day. I recently changed to a color coding, so I write green if I've surpassed last month's numbers and red if I'm still working on that goal. But I track it every single day, and it is super exciting, especially this month. Every time I get to write a green or a new number, it's very exciting. But I track my growth, so I can physically see year over year to the day that I'm growing, that you are growing, that as a whole, our business is growing together, okay? You need to have a way to track your budget, okay? Whether this is a budgeting form, whether you get a book, whether you use a program, whatever it is, however you track it, you need to have a way of tracking your budget. Okay, for me, this is something that I am currently working on. I do not have, I'm going to be really honest, I do not have a really great system for tracking my budget yet, but that is something that I am still trying to work on and still trying to find a system that works well for me. But it is important that you have a system. Okay, you want a system of how you track your sales, how you're going to do follow-up. You need to have a follow-up system. You need to have a host coaching system. How do you coach your hostesses? Once they say, yes, I want to have a party, what comes next? You need a system for that. Okay, you need to have a new team member onboarding system. Once you have somebody join, what happens next? Okay, and then what happens? You need to have a system for that as well. You need to have a PRV plan. Okay, we talked about earlier the financial plan. You need to know where your PRV is coming from. Well, you need to have, it helps to have it written out, a notebook that has ideas of ways to get PRV, because inevitably you're going to come up with those months that maybe you're falling this short of your goal. Maybe you have a goal of selling 2,000 PRV and you're at 1,500 PRV and you're like, oh, I don't know what it is that I can, that I can do to get 500 PRV. And, if you have a PRV notebook of maybe past ideas that you've had, you can go back and you can look at ideas that you've had, or maybe you see somebody else's ideas, you can write that down. Okay. And you want to keep a collection of PRVs in a notebook, PRV ideas in a notebook, so that you can create your plan. How are you going to get your PRV next month? Do not show up August 1st with a goal of selling 3,000 PRV and say, okay, how am I going to do this? It's not going to happen. You need to start yesterday with figuring it out how you are going to get that PRV by the end of next month. All right? And another important thing is you need to create a routine of when you're going to create these systems. Okay, now we've heard the phrase, you need to set business hours, and it is really important to set some business hours. It is really important to know exactly, even if you're doing it on a day-to-day basis, maybe your schedule changes every single day. You need to sit down at the beginning of each day and work out, when is it that I'm going to work my business today? And which of these things am I going to implement today? Now, one of the things that I was going to do is I actually was going to put together, I asked a few leaders, a few of my friends that are leaders and have teams and have, fairly high sales. I was like, if you could do one thing, if you only had 15 minutes today to work your business, what is it that you would do? And I would tell you, every single person that I talked to said follow up. They would follow up with their customers, because that is our number one way of creating a consistent income, is following up with our customers. It is way easier to get resales than it is to constantly have to find new customers. Okay? Customer service, follow up. You need to have a routine of when you're going to do that. Even if it's working out a different routine every single day, know when it is that you're going to sit down and do those things. Okay? And then the last thing is I just said that. When are you going to plan to work your business every single day? So you need to have that routine, and you need to have a when. And again, business hours, if you have them, if they are 9 to 5 every day, if they're 9 to 3, if they're 12 to 2, whatever that is, you want to have set business hours so that your team members know when to connect with you. You want to, so that you can go into Sensei work mode and know exactly what it is that you're going to implement that day. Okay, now you don't necessarily need to share your business hours with your customers, because let's face it, they're on their own schedule and they're going to text you when they have time. And if they're trying to text you with only in your business hours, then you can decide if you want to answer them or how you want to implement them. But personally, for me, I have business hours that I set to work my business, but I also am flexible with when I answer messages, especially from my customers, because that is, that's income producing, right? I'm not going to have somebody message me $100 order and say, oh, my business hours were 9 to 3, it's 4 o'clock. Sorry, so sad. Not going to happen. So you need to have that plan, and you need to have that routine and that plan in place. All right. Now, finally, I want to come up with an action plan. Okay. So what is it? I've done a lot of talking tonight about systems, plans, the different levels of how to work a business. And you need to think of at least one of these things that you can implement on a daily basis that is going to help move your business forward. Is it a financial plan? You do need all of these aspects, but really, what action are you going to take today, tomorrow, if you're watching this tonight, tomorrow, in order to move your business forward? Pick one action, okay? For me, I need to create a budget system, okay? I am terrible. I've been working on a budget. I am terrible at planning on where my money is going. I'd rather spend than plan, but I need to create that system for myself. Okay, so is it a follow-up system that you need to create so that you can implement a financial plan? Is it a social media account that you need so that you can implement a marketing plan? You know, pick one thing that you can do today, right now, as soon as you get done listening to this call, that you can implement. All right. And I cannot wait to hear the things that you guys are implementing in your business after hearing this call. And I hope that you guys have a fabulous evening. And I look forward to speaking with you guys soon. Bye.